and like it doesn't, not as much seems to be going into the supply side. So I think you questioned.
Rubicon, I bet.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, was that not your point?
Yeah, that was my point. So the quote was, and I'm going to throw Kirk into this conversation since he's right there. Kirk started this conversation with Eric Schmidt a year and a half ago, asking for more tools. We need more tools. We need more tools for us to sell intelligently to those that are buying intelligently. And we worked with GOOGLE and worked with them over a period of time, really up until today, about helping us with that. Like, they have the ability to do that. They have the ad server, help us do that. And we just didn't get as far as we wanted to say it politely. And to have that also then result in a direct declaration of supporting the buy side with an acquisition, which is an absolute tool to make buyers smarter.
Do you think that's a strategic decision or just farther down the line of importance in product development?
For whom?
For Google.
I think strategic, and I think very strategic. I think display is the next search, and they see that coming, and they want to get on top of that to manage that and protect what search is, and also display. And if they don't do that, if they don't take that position now, and I can't answer why exactly people do that, this is one person's opinion, they need to get ahead of it, and they're going to integrate that into what DFA it is. So we look at that as a publisher standpoint. We have DFP. They bought DFP from VivaKi 3 years ago, right? Where the hell is our new solution? It's coming, and what we've been told is a year, is maybe 2 years out, right, for us to do that. So that's the point that we're frustrated about with that. And so enter Rubicon, right? To Kara's point, he's been frustrated with me and not publicly talking about the benefit that we actually get from Rubicon. So this is for you. We've been working
another beer.
We've been working with. I've been very non-public about what we've done because I don't want to get into the sort of who's better than whom. But the benefit that we received from Rubicon and the opportunity that they've come in and listened to us and talked to us about what we need has been great. I mean, they are our advocate. They are able to actually now create the types of controls that we didn't have a year ago to manage demand sources differently, to segment tiers of inventory, and actually report on and understand what that is, which is everything that we've been asking for last year. It's a start. We have a long way to go. I mean, we're in the first inning of, I don't know how many innings of overtime, but we're started. We're getting there. And on top of that, I got a report last week with an Excel spreadsheet that told me the number of pixels that were dropped on my sites in the last 24 hours. Hugely valuable.
Does that fit on one report?
Excel has to But for me to see all the ad networks that are piggybacking, right, or to see other stuff that's going on that I'm not aware of, but we know is going on. We know it's been going on forever, and advertisers that are using the messaging campaigns that I didn't necessarily get the call to say, hey, by the way, we're using some of that audience to do some. I'm okay with that happening potentially as long as there's value exchange there, and just turn the lights on. Right, so that's happening, and hence the being hell bent on turning the lights on and actually then understanding how to go work with those partners in a very transparent way. So.
Yeah, but I think this you'll be happy in the next years because I'm convinced that the next wave of innovation is going to come from that side of the business, right? And it's market dynamics. It's been dependent on from one side to the other. For the last 3 years, so for 3-4 years, we had a push towards the demand side because there were no tools there, right? Like the sellers were dictating prices, were dictating everything in the market, and yet there was an oversupply of inventory. So that's against any market rule, right? And that's why I think you've seen a lot of innovation in the demand side of the business, where there's been a lot of technology development, a lot of different tools that can help the advertiser evaluate media at scale. And I am absolutely convinced that it's coming on the other direction right now.
It is, but we're at a critical juncture because we have to go into this together, because it could go the wrong way. If the tools need to be focused in a way that's complementary and not competitive. Because if the tools on the publisher side are more about valuation and analysis versus definition, if they become about definition, then we go back to where we just came from, right? And
we don't want to go there.
Yeah, but I think that's the danger that we face. Is like I see a lot of publishers that are very concerned about how do I bring data into the ecosystem? How do I define an audience? And to Marta's point before about look, data definitions about audiences can be very customized. And the reason why ad networks came up in the first place was about the ability to define an audience and not just have it limited to one point solution by a publisher. And to be able to customize it, like, so when we go down that lowest common denominator path, then we lose a lot of the value that we've created over the past time. And so as long as I think we all go into it knowing that, you know, for the most part, there's going to be value in publishers defining audiences, and like I said before, in terms of certain advertisers are going to need publishers to help them define the audiences because they're not going to have the tool sets to be able to do it themselves. But I do think that the more that it's a joint, it's an ecosystem that we're developing, right? It's an operating system. I look at exchanges. We always talk about exchanges as VivaKi as operating systems. It gives us a common operating system to us to start to like build an infrastructure together on.
Yeah, cheers.